7:30 a.m., probably 8:30, and 2 hours is probably 4:30 in on the West Coast. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching this live or watching it on replay, thank you for hopping in. It has been a long time for me and this coffee chat. I haven't done it in a while. I started it, I think, during the pandemic, and then I stopped doing it. Don't know why, but I just did. But here I am. I renamed it Coffee and Curriculum. Um, it's a break from all the content from on my YouTube channels, Facebook page, and it's just me in the buff. I've had to get used to jumping up early in the morning here lately. Um, and I'll give one of those life updates. There are three things I'm going to share: my life update, what's happening as far as events that I'm planning, and we'll talk about this book, Building a System of Tens, some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with my Math Intervention Academy. I'm revamping that. I am behind on my timelines due to the hurricane that just passed through. So that's neither here nor there. That is life. So I'm trying to catch up on some things that have done. So without further ado, let's get started with my life updates. If you are on my email list, my two worlds have basically collided and I generally don't even I talk about some aspects of work, but not all of them. Most people don't know, especially in my audience, that I am the president of one of the local teachers unions in our school district. I work in the largest school district in the state of Texas, and we have been taken over by the Texas Education Agency. And I have been locked in a battle with the school district for several reasons. One reason because I have been outspoken about the changes that are harmful to minority children, and is creating a system of haves and have-nots when we're talking about education, and creating an educational system that thrives on failure and not really success. So a lot of the strategies that are being put in place are not evidence-based or research-based, and they are harmful to children in a nutshell. So I had my hearing, I guess almost a month ago, and I'm waiting for a recommendation from the hearing officer. There was some bogus claims, which we all proved false. They said I was live streaming from my classroom. This setting is what got me in trouble, quote unquote. They said I was live streaming, and like they ran the gamut on it. It was like really ridiculous. Said that I was trying to profit off of school, and then come to find out I wasn't even at school. It was a blatant lie, and they knew I wasn't at the school because you could have pulled your own cameras. There was no investigation done. There was nothing. Hell, you could have came and asked me about it, and I'd have told you I wasn't there. I work an hour away from my school, but anyway, I'm fighting those allegations, and that's where that is. The second thing is my Math Teacher Bootcamp. This is the first time that I felt like I've had to do something like this, especially with the changing of education. And it's just the teachers that are coming into the profession are mostly inexperienced teachers, and we are seeing an influx of problems in the math community. That's what I'm seeing, even with my own grandson. There are ways that the children are being taught that are not necessarily the strategy, but I can tell that though the teachers that he has had, they are not really strong in that mathematical content and a lot of other things that I've been seeing and hearing from some of my colleagues who are teachers, saying that the children really aren't learning anything at school because of the inexperience of the teachers. Not, I mean, everybody has gone through that, but I've never seen a time period in my career where we have such a huge number of, first of all, uncertified teachers. Secondly, teachers who come from alternative certification programs, and the experienced teachers are leaving the profession in droves. So I'm using this platform to educate teachers if they are not getting that education, and it's especially support from the schools, because I notice even in my own school district, it's been, spearheaded by people who don't have the experience. And I know that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but it is what it is. Experience rules the coop when it comes to education. The more experience you have, because you have to sharpen your knife, your skill set, and get more skills in your toolbox. And younger teachers just don't have that. For me, and inexperienced teachers, they don't have it. So, I've been teaching 24 years. I've taught elementary, middle, and high school math. So my lens is vast. I've served as an instructional coach, and I've served as a math interventionist. So it's a little different. Not knocking the new teachers, but what I am saying, if you're looking for support and training, because the children are coming with what they're coming with. And the funny thing is, the lack of is astounding. A lot of the children are struggling with reading, which is impeding the math, which is causing a huge problem when we're talking about, deficits, and it's seeming as if the children have a problem with mathematics when it really is a reading issue. So this summer, I had the opportunity to present at the NCTM conference in New Orleans. It's called the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. And I presented for the first time connecting problem solving to math, or reading to math in the problem solving phase. And I do believe that is one of the issues that we're seeing in the math community, that the reading, it has gotten so bad that it's now a math issue, not math per se, but that's something that I'll be covering in the Math Teachers Bootcamp. So be on the lookout for that. So I want to go ahead and get, if you can see this, building a system of 10. This is the first edition of the book, but I really like this book. One of the things that I'm doing in my Math Intervention Academy, when I first started the academy, I started out with focusing on, putting an intervention program together, or a system, not necessarily a program, because it's a system and you can take it anywhere and implement it. So that was the first part. That's the first layer. So the math intervention cycle was the first layer of the Math Intervention Academy. The second part that I'm focusing on, because I think I'm in my fourth year, not sure, of the Math Intervention Academy, some of the teachers that started out with me have gone on. So this is the second part where we're looking, because the four parts is assess, diagnose, reteach, and reassess. Real simple. assess, diagnose, reteach, reassess. So we're focusing on that reteach part. The assessment part is not really an issue because we have a lot of data, but we're not doing anything with it. So the reteach cycle is huge, and I've been grappling with how to begin reteaching when we talk about um, reteaching for intervention. Now, this is different from remediation, and I think on my blog I have a blog post about the difference between remediation and intervention. Intervention, and I get this question all the time, what grade level is this for? Intervention does not have a grade level. Intervention is driven by your data. So if you have a ninth grade student and that student is struggling with, say, systems of equations, what you as a teacher have to do is go and look at the vertical alignment for system of equations and clear up the misconceptions with the skill so that that student can understand systems of equations. That's math intervention. Remediation is a horizontal alignment type of deal, meaning that it's at grade level. Math intervention is not at grade level. It follows that vertical alignment. And it's kind of like being on a string. What skills do I need to focus? And you're not going to focus on all of the skills. Now, when I look at issues from, elementary to high school, one of the issues that constantly, it's a theme that constantly stands out. It is that system of 10. I don't understand or know exactly why kids struggle with the system 10. I don't know if it's a curriculum issue. I don't know if it's a pacing issue. I don't know if it's a teacher issue or a teacher content knowledge issue at the K2 level. Because make no mistake, building a system of 10 starts in kindergarten. It starts with those 10 frames. And having an understanding of 10 helps so much because it helps with rounding. It helps with all those skills that the kids struggle with. It is the Achilles heel of mathematics, especially at the elementary level in the number operation strand. A lot of teachers see, like even for me, when I taught fifth grade, um, they struggle with multiplication and division. Those are skills that are based on systems of 10. And in this book, it talks about, it has a lot of different chapters. The first one is children's algorithms for adding and subtracting. And the first one I did, the first case, because they have cases, says, do my students think flexibly? And I know some people are going to say, oh, that's that new math. And it's really not. It's not new math. What it is helping children to see numbers in a way that are not constricted. I can appreciate that because guess what? I taught Algebra 1. And the biggest issue I had with solving equations is the students always said, well, do I have to do it this way? That's not how you solve an equation. Equations can be solved many different ways. There are solutions, and especially when you talk about inequalities where you have multiple solutions that actually work on that line. And this understanding and type of thinking does not start in secondary. It starts in elementary. It does. It starts in elementary school. So that 10 frame, the 10 frame is the first introduction to thinking differently. There are different ways that you can make a 10. And from an intervention standpoint, this is important because I taught third grade last year. And one of the issues that I had to go back and clear up was the 10 frame. Even in my high school, if you're on my Instagram account, my high school students, I had to quickly teach them how to create a 10. Because by the time you're 15, you can grasp that concept and move on very quickly. Not so much for your younger children. But if you are struggling, you need to look at, can the student create a 10? That is the first entry point. Number and operation is the foundation for all mathematics. And generally, just based on what I've experienced, number and operation, it always comes back down to that. But you're not teaching all of the kids' deficits. What you're doing is looking for, what skill do I need to actually fix in order for this student to move and get the grade level content? That's what math intervention is. And that's why I like this book. Thinking, it said, talks about, do my students think flexibly, children inventing their own addition procedures. And I know that's one of the things, those, they're algorithms, but they're not the standard algorithm. I know some people will say, well, it is an algorithm. It is, but it's not the standard algorithm. If you look at your curriculum or your student expectations for your grade levels, it will say algorithms and it will say standard algorithm. The standard algorithm for mathematics and multiplication and division is that algorithm. And I'm going to speak to you fifth grade teachers. No sixth grade teacher is going to appreciate a child that's going to sixth grade with the lattice method. It does not work because they are going into algebraic concepts and it bogs down the children's processes, especially if they are struggling in math and reading. And I know a lot of elementary teachers don't like to hear that. And I'm just going to tell you, I've taught middle school, I've gone back down to elementary, and those things, as best as you can, should be cleared up by the end of the school year. And when I taught fifth grade, that was one of my goals, to make sure that my kids could multiply and divide. Because I know that when they get to middle school, they're rocking and rolling, and especially in sixth grade, because they start to focus on equations and proportionality, and it is a struggle for those students. So, if I think NCTM, and I'm see if I can pull their website up. Let me see if I can pull up their website. They have building a system of 10. I think it's a new edition. Put in here, building a system of 10. And it's on Amazon. I'll probably get it to see if they have updated anything. I'm going to drop it in the chat. So if you're interested in it, I have a membership to NCTM, and I think you get a 30% discount when you purchase their products. Hi, Dominique. Good morning. So that is a very good book. It's a part 1, 2, and 3. And I love NCTM's publications because they are, when people say, well, is it research based? Well, NCTM is going to do all that work for you. And it's not something that you're going to have to question because they are the national organization for mathematics. Also, another one is what's the name of it's a blue book. I've had it for a long time. Let me see. From NCTM. My nose is itching hard. They have their back to, and I'm gonna drop that in the chat as well because they have their back to school stuff going on now. So those are some things that you can read. They have like problem of the week if that's your type of thing. Not mine. I never really been a problem of the week type of person. But yeah, get some books. Like I said, build your toolbox, build your instructional strategies, keep learning, be a learner so that you can help your students. The more that you know, the better equipped you are to help that most challenging student. And when your administrator is asking, what are you doing? And you can have a toolbox full of things that you can pull to try with the students. Teaching is messy. There is no cookie cutter routine. Like these schools, districts, and these states are saying, we're going to standardize the curriculum. There is no standardized child. So if you can standardize, that standardized curriculum would definitely work. But there's no standardized child. So you're going to have who early on is that public education has never served above grade level or below grade level children. Children that are at that medium bell curve are your kids that most curriculum and most activities are geared towards. They are not scaffolded.